Here's a story of a lovely pheasant who took the piss out of GBL's loving wife. In honour of his crap calls, like the big dog, he brought out a shirt. Buy it now, please.
WTF! WTF!
Now, as we all know, before predictions take place, Adam Pacitti likes to take me out for midnight mass and a pedicure, so I did not see the pre-show till last night's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but I did hear that Booker T was there, so it must have been tea time. And also, what's James Varzi doing in the Impact Zone? Now, I don't know about you, but I will sleep well tonight knowing what that sign says there. Imagine thinking something just like that had to be shared with the entire world. It might just be like posting a video on your YouTube channel, classically telling people 10 things that will happen after Vince McMahon dies. I don't know about you, but some things are better off being kept to yourself than being shared with the entire world. First ever Iron Woman match, main event at WWE pay-per-view. First ever women's Hell in a Cell match, main event at WWE pay-per-view. First ever women's Royal Rumble match, main event at WWE pay-per-view. But the first ever women's Elimination Chamber match jerks the curtain like no women's big stipulation match has ever jerked a curtain before. Whoa. There's only one thing to say here, and what's up with that? Jonathan Coachman, as we all know, those Booker T juices that have collected on the seat you're currently sat in have been seeping up through your arsehole into your body over the past few weeks, and it continued with aplomb last night at Elimination Chamber. He claims that each of the women in the chamber are looking up at the structure and not knowing what to expect. What do you mean, sucker? There's been 20 of the bastard things over the past 16 years where we have seen everything under the sun happen. We've seen people come up through the steel floor. We've seen Spider-Man in there many times. We've seen Mark Henry get lost, for Christ's sake. Now, if I had half a brain and access to the WWE network like every single WWE superstar does, I'll have sat myself down, studied the piss out of the previous 20 matches, and be very prepared and knowing exactly what was coming my way when looking up at the structure. Failed to prepare to prove that numpty Coachman right. A massive thank you to Nicole Cordova and her John O'Clock shirt and that man there with the maggle sign for spreading the good name of Cultaholic throughout the WWE universe. Join them in joining us. Maggle. And next up we have the moment where Maggle Cole claimed that pinfalls and submissions have to take place inside the ring, inside of the Elimination Chamber. Maggle, what is this, 2002? The night where you dressed like a cat burglar and proved you fancied the pants off Al Wilson, on the night of the first ever Elimination Chamber. Now, I know my memory is severely damaged from all of the toot and the alcohol and broken Matt Hardy streams, but I'm sure they abolished that rule not too long after the first ever chamber match. If I'm wrong, I don't apologise at all. But anyway, in a match that apparently shortens lives and disfigures faces, you must abide by the rules or else it just doesn't add up. And as another example of WWE just rewriting their own rule book just to suit their own needs, the bloody scoundrels. Chance of Bayley in the crowd at a WWE main roster show. I had to scratch my eyes and just check I wasn't actually hearing chants of Benoit, because chants of Bayley have been rarer than chants of Benoit in recent times, and chants of Benoit have been rarer than bloody rare things, I tell you. I guess this is testament to WWE's work in recent times of not painting Bayley to be an idiot virgin. Why they thought that was a good idea in the first place is beyond this sexual wank pheasant. And this time we have Corey Graves claiming that Sasha Banks should go out of the ring to pin a stricken Bayley, leaving Sasha Banks in a 2-on-1 situation against Absolution. Had me all like good. What the hell? No, hold up. Now, if Sasha Banks is in a tag team situation 2-on-2, her chances of winning are at 50%, but if her tag team partner gets eliminated, her chances go down to 33 1/3. Corey Graves, either way, the maths does not lie and spells disaster for you, either when you go to the barbers or wipe your snotty nose through your hair. Either way, that's the same thing as sacrifice. Wow. Jonathan Coachman, if you go girl, one more time, I will hunt you down and shake your hand because I live for all of that sass. Now, I think we could all see Sasha Banks doing exactly what she did to Bayley a mile off, but just like her mule kicks to the back of British women's heads, her timing was completely off. Sasha, why not wait, you stupid cow? You're in a 2-on-1 handicap match against the champion for Christ's sake, and in the advantage numbers wise. Pin the champion, vacate the championship, then turn into a bitch and win the championship. Just the little things, pal, think about them. Now I don't know about you, but that splash from Sasha Banks was anything but froggy. Sasha didn't move her arms or her legs like frogs do, and said staying still and looking like one of those little dogs with short legs leaping through the air while on a very quick run. Sasha Banks no selling that moments after we saw Sonya Deville be eliminated by a Mickie James move that was way less impactful than that thing there. Sasha Banks, what the piss is wrong with you, woman? Maggle, 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 maggle. And of course, Maggle Cole claimed that the WWE Network celebrated its 4th anniversary this week, even though, as we all know, you do not celebrate your 1st anniversary on your wedding day. Maggle Cole, surely you of all people should know that, being a married man, being faithful to your loving wife, John Bradshaw Layfield. And next up we have Jonathan Coachman claiming he's impressed with how many different quality tag teams there are on Monday Night Raw. You are, Coachman. Maybe you should be telling the people with the pencils, because the story they've been telling for the better part of the year now is that there's only 2. The rest of them, of course, considering the fact they are never in the tag team championship hunt and only have been recently, you take DeBar and Seth Rollins +1 out of the equation. The rest of them, quite frankly, are worthless vegetables. Shove your beach balls up your arses, Las Vegas. If you want to go and see beach balls, go to the Pissin' Beach, not a professional wrestling show. 6 days after tweeting that tweet there, Jonathan Coachman claims the game plan is one word. This is Jonathan Coachman, of course, who was Mr. Sporty Pants on ESPN for Bear Time, who once again proved that when you sat in a pool of Booker T's piss for long enough, it makes you more stupid than you were before you were sat in a pool of Booker T's piss. Our Titus have reached for sweets and wool was harder than that, man. Titus, just imagine there was a picture of your son with his mouth wide open, ready to be tashed on with on the end of Apollo's hand. Then there's no doubt about it, you would have been reaching with all the velocity of Inspector Gadget's reachable arm ting. Maggle, 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 maggle. And this time we have Maggle Cole posing the question, can the big guy Titus get back into this matchup? First of all, Maggle, that's gimmick infringement on a man who no longer exists in this world, and second of all, Maggle, you know that you've backed yourself into a corner because Titus O'Neil was barking long before Roman Reigns was, and you know that Titus O'Neil is a bigger dog than Roman Reigns is, but you can't call Titus O'Neil his rightful nickname of the Big Dog. I'm not going to say it like that just yet. Maggle, 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 maggle. Moonshot, Maggle, get the blood on the arse cheeks out of your dirty mind. That's a tope con hilo, and you know it is. Nah, I don't think they do, you know, and I don't think it's the other way around either. I just think this is a very insecure man trying to rile up the Smarks and failing miserably. October the 7th, 2015, an undefeated campaign is born apparently now, 873 days and 1 defeat to Eva Marie. In a battle royal later, WWE are still telling porcupines about Asuka's undefeated streak. Maggle, 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 maggle. And next up we have Maggle Cole claim that only one woman in WWE history won her round the twist. Her first 4 pay-per-views, and that woman, according to Maggle, is the Fabulous Moolah. Now it looks like to me that those dastardly tales of manipulation and debauchery from the Fabulous Moolah's past, go onto Wikipedia if you want to shock yourself today, stretched as far as Maggle Cole, because Maggle Cole completely forgot about Charlotte's undefeated pay-per-view streak. Although I guess the WWE want you to forget that pay-per-view streak actually existed, considering they wasted it on a B show in Fastlane last year. What were they thinking? Asuka defeating Nia Jax has definitely got to be considered an upset, according to Corey Graves. That, of course, is talking about Asuka, who hasn't been pinned or submitted in WWE for a lifetime, and Asuka, who has defeated Nia Jax 9 times in singles matches without reply. You've got Jonathan Coachman claiming that game plan is one word. You've got Corey Graves claiming that an upset is that thing I've just explained there. WWE need to buy those nutties behind the commentary desk a dictionary fast before they say something that gets WWE taken off the air. So WWE are now calling Nia Jax the irresistible force. Nia Jax, of course, uses a leg drop. When she drops that leg drop, it all comes crashing down and it hurts inside of the opponent. Nia Jax has a handlebar mustache. Of course, that last bit's a lie, but the rest of it all adds up and seems very familiar to something we've seen before and are not allowed to see in the current day, brother. So after fat shaming Paul Heyman by claiming he waddles down to the ring, be a star, Roman, you prick. Dog steals the African shtick. He claims that what he's about to say about the Elimination Chamber is not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Pout eyes. Vogue. That's gimmick infringement, you knob. Fix up, look sharp. Bring them down, lads, for you are proving my hypotheses to be correct. Just like there is a few inches between a pat on the back and a finger in the arse, there is just a few degrees between the final deletion and the final bastard solution. Now, if Booker T did in fact say that Matt Hardy is going through a midlife crisis because he does all of the screaming karate moves, I'm off to dip my head in a bucket of acid because what's the point anymore? And of course it must be... Now, WWE Raw commentary team, if you do in fact believe that Matt Hardy was controlling the crowd during his match with Bray Wyatt, then of course there must be a sub-race of lizard people living within the Earth's core controlling us. That Mexican wave that you claim Matt Hardy started was happening because you've made a massive bollock with these two people and nobody gave a crap about that match. It's such a sad state of affairs when you think about these two potentially being the two most captivating characters you actually have at your disposal. Is anybody else thinking what the hell happened at Survivor Series and why have WWE just forgotten about it? Because I certainly am. Why is Triple H and Kurt Angle just shaking hands like they're best pals when Triple H of course turned on Kurt Angle at Survivor Series, getting Kurt Angle eliminated from the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series tag team match? Not to mention the fact that Kurt Angle quite clearly still fancies the pants off of his bastard wife. It's just another example to us all that WWE believe that we can't remember things that happened more than 5 minutes ago, but if you can't actually do that, do not worry because Uncle Ross is here. Oh, I'm a creep. Sorry, Mick Foley, I'm stealing from you here, pal, when I do my impression of what Triple H said last night at Elimination Chamber. We scour the earth, we scour the earth for the greatest athletes, the elite, the elite, you say, you big nose troll. They're not hard to find, pal, they're just atop the second and third biggest promotions in the entire bastard world. Just look beyond your nose and you'll see them. And next up we have Triple H saying that Ronda Rousey has earned the right to name herself the baddest woman on the planet. If that's the case, then Triple H, what does that mean for Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes then, mate? I hope that's her own leather jacket this time and she didn't shrink Roddy's in the wash. We've waited so long to hear Ronda Rousey talk inside a WWE ring. What could her first words be? Could it be telling us who her WrestleMania opponent's going to be? Could she be spilling the beans on how much of a dick Mrs. Ladyballs is actually behind the scenes? The wait was finally over. We're on the edge of our bastard seats. Ronda Rousey's first words inside a WWE ring were, "Hey guys." And then Triple H says to her credit that Ronda Rousey didn't want anything special put within a WWE contract apart from her own personal locker room that was shown earlier in the show. You DNB? Aye, I'll show you. Aye. So Ronda Rousey puts her prospective new boss through a table. Remember, she hadn't signed a WWE contract by that point and she still gets hired? What's the crap with that? I thought putting bosses through tables was something people do when they've had their notice in, and leaving a job, at least that's what I did when I left name redacted.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Corey Graves. AJ Styles is defending his WWE Championship at Fastlane against 4 other superstars. You managed to count to 3, but then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Which ironically is the percentage chance I would give you of passing key stage 2 maths or whatever the equivalent is over in the American lands. And since we're moving on to the men's Elimination Chamber match, I suppose it's time I bring out this now.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank. Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Now, if you're wondering what wankety wank is, it's essentially the same as blankety blank, just like on blankety blank you fill in the blanks. Wankety wank sees a sexual wank pheasant tweet me on the Twitter machine to fill in the blanks that I miss from a pay-per-view because I watch WWE shows at 1.5 times the speed. So this one comes from Tilly Starseeker. What a lovely name that is, and it's a quotation from Maggle Cole. Maggle said, 5 men in the match, no one's out yet. Elias, the last man in a pod. Ho, ho, ho. So Maggle, you've got the 5 men, you plus 0, you've got Elias left in the pod, and what do you get? 6 in the historic first ever Elimination Chamber match with 7 people in. So yes, this is a thing I'll be doing on every single Raw, SmackDown and pay-per-view going forward. If you spot something that you think is a WTF moment, simply use wankety wank hashtag on the Twitter machine, mention me, I'll have a look, and you might become famous. Oh. Calling this year's men's Elimination Chamber match the biggest Elimination Chamber match in WWE history is as much of a lie as Maggle Cole's mere existence is. I know nobody likes it, I know that everybody wants to forget it, just like the first time you kissed the one you thought was your soulmate and your life partner to be, but 2015 there was a tag team Elimination Chamber match where there was 13 people inside the chamber at one time. And this time we have Michael Cole waving at John Cena literally years after John Cena waved at him and then turned his back, meaning that by the time that Michael waved at him, he couldn't see him, and I want to die. Finn Balor, you blue dabba-dee dabba-dopey bastard. Why on earth are you dressed all in blue and not dressed as the Demon? Everybody knows that in WWE you cannot win a big match without dressing up for Halloween, which means you are shafting yourself in the cabriolet when you really don't need to. Dun 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 dun. That big dog doing that meant that Kevin Dunn's Beaver did that, and we saw something that we weren't meant to see in that.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
So Michael Cole made a big old hoo-ha about Seth Rollins lasting 65 minutes in that gauntlet match last week on Raw. Michael Cole claimed that it was one of the best performances in the 25-year history of Monday Night Raw. Corey Graves then chimes in and claims that superstars go through an entire career without accomplishing what Seth Rollins did last week on Monday Night Rollins. What did he achieve like Corey Graves? He wrestled for 65 minutes, knackered himself out 6 days before a massive Elimination Chamber match and didn't even win the gauntlet match he wrestled for 65 minutes in. And because I'm as lowbrow as an angry Elmer Fudd, this is directly comparable to shagging for 65 minutes and then admitting defeat and giving up moments before you climax and blot everywhere like Michael Cole when he sees the big dog at the top of a WWE ramp. None of these guys are friends, said Jonathan Coachman about the competitors inside the men's Elimination Chamber match. What are you smoking, pal? What about Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins? The pair of them, they're married. Oh no, wait, that's my dreams and Tumblr page.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
So according to Corey Graves, you can accomplish more inside an Elimination Chamber match when there's 3 men in the ring compared to when there's 4 or 5. Let's be honest here, when it comes to the Chamber, it's all about the eliminations, nothing else matters. When there's 3 men in there, all you can do is eliminate 2 men while there's still 4 fresh, sweaty men inside the pods. When there's 4 or 5 in there, you can eliminate 3 or 4, meaning there's less fresh, sweaty men inside the pods. Corey Graves, that snotty hair dye do you've got there is messing with your think box. Push me back, John says. I'll read John. Me gran even heard that, and she's 85 and hard of hearing and dead. And then Jonathan Coachman asked, could you have a better situation for Roman Reigns with all 4 men inside of the ring down? Ah, you could. How about those 4 men being eliminated so the big dog can have a little catnap before 2 more fools come out of the pods, he can eliminate them as well. It's 2016 all of a sudden and AJ Styles is coming down to the ring. Oh no, wait there. Roman Reigns is getting distracted by absolutely nothing. Roman, what are you doing, pal? John Cena's pinned clean twice in 1 week. Forget about 2 animals. Grab everything you can and head for the bastard border. The end is nigh. The end is nigh. Time to run away. The end is nigh. Seth. You and Sasha Banks complete idiots, at Finn Balor would say. Why are babyfaces idiots in WWE seeing the complete logical thing right in front of their faces before veering off and doing something completely wrong? Seth, you and Roman should have ganged up against Braun Strowman just like Sasha should have ganged up with Bayley to take down Alexa Bliss. WWE, why do you have to boot your babyfaces like idiots and your heels like the clever people? You can be a heel and stupid and a babyface and clever. And with that, and even though it's against the wishes of many people within the WWE universe, even though WWE always gives the fans what they want, Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania to take on Brock Lesnar in a storyline that has been 3 years in the making. It's as if WWE have Tourette's and have this insatiable need to put this in front of our eyes or they will die. Let's just hope they do this. Let's just hope they have Roman win. We can have a little boo. Everybody can be happy. I'll say the big dog in a funny way a few times and we can all move on with our lives. That is it. For all of the WTF moments from Elimination Chamber 2018, I have been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. Thank you for being a sexual wank pheasant. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at RossOnWrestling. Pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you can afford to give us is greatly appreciated and will be retitivated into many different things to provide more content for your viewing pleasure. And most importantly of all, do not forget to join us.